Ohio Bobcats taking on the 12th seed South Florida Bulls. Winner here will move on to St. Louis to take on the winner of that North Carolina Creighton game going on right now on CBS from Greensboro. Hi everybody, Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinarkle, two teams that weren't supposed to be here, quite frankly, but here we are in a 12-13 matchup and two lead guards going head-to-head, which is something you desperately need if you want to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
And especially with the decisions. This is going to be a low-scoring game, a game of possession, so those decisions by those two guards are going to be very important.
Well, this Ohio program has been elevated. Their head coach, John Gross, has come in and done fantastic work in his fourth season now. Winners of the MAC championship and the victory over Michigan 65-60 on Friday night. Starting five for the Bobcats: Nick Kellogg, DJ Cooper, there's that lead guard. What an impressive showing he had the other night. Walter Offutt, the transfer from Ohio State, Ivo Baltic, and John Smith for Ohio. For South Florida, out of the Big East, Anthony Collins, he doesn't play like a freshman. Hugh Robertson in the backcourt, and then up front, Ron Anderson Jr., Victor Rudd Jr. having an impressive tournament, and Augustus Gilchrist, the senior. Stan Heath, certainly familiar with deep runs in the NCAA tournament, won a national championship as an assistant to Tom Izzo at Michigan State, and then took Kent State as a head coach out of the MAC to the Elite Eight in 2001. Veteran officiating crew with Tony Green, Mark Whitehead, and Chris Rastatter. Ohio and South Florida. South Florida playing in its third game in 5 nights. This journey started in Dayton in the first 4, and Ohio controls the tip. Setting things up with DJ Cooper. 21 points, 5 assists in that victory over Michigan. Baltic swinging around the perimeter. Cooper with a high screen. 12 to shoot. Very patient here. Baltic inside the arc. 7 to shoot. On a spin, off the cut, and the finish. It's Offutt darting towards the rim. He gets the deuce.
And I would anticipate that that's going to be the type of possessions we will see at both ends of the floor. South Florida will defend pretty long into the shot clock, which we just saw, but Ohio will be very patient. And I anticipate the same exact temperament at this end of the floor.
South Florida, 58-44 win over Temple on Friday night. They beat Cal in the first 4 in Dayton on Wednesday night. Double team, a quick one comes on Gilchrist. Almost intercepted by Offutt. He did touch it. Shot clock is down to 4. Rudd would go have to make it happen on a 3.
Whoa, little holding on there. Both guys couldn't go anywhere down deep.
Baltic and Anderson got tied up, and this is going to work against the Ohio big man, Ivo Baltic. South Florida, tremendous defensive team out of Tampa, Florida. This is a team that went 12-6 in the Big East. By far their best season in the conference. They joined the Big East back in 2005. Rudd Jr. gives it up. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Stan Heath, he preaches patience. Yep. They'll work the shot clock. They look for quality shots, but deep in the timer. Rudd lines it up, off the mark. And long rebound to Cooper.
Both of these guards are explosive. We just saw Collins go very low to the floor.
Catching fire, it's Offutt from deep, a 3.
Well, Cooper had 21 points against Michigan, but he also had 5 assists in the last game out, Ian. So he's going to find people, he will break you down, but that was a terrific look to the deep corner.
Offutt, a captain on this team, a junior from Indianapolis. What a nice addition he's been to the Bobcats after sitting out his transfer year last season. 5-0 Ohio. Here's Rudd. They blitz in with a double. Anthony Collins on a dump down. Double team. Quick one comes on Anderson. Gives it up. Gilchrist, the leaner. Bank shot doesn't go. Smith had it knocked away, and last touch by Robertson of South Florida.
Good step across right there, and Offutt, Stan Heath's team having some troubles early on, but watch this pass. Diagonal pass across, right in rhythm. All you got to do is think catch while that ball's about halfway to you. You're thinking as a guard, I want to put that thing up and get ready to shoot in rhythm.
Second all-time meeting between these two schools. Ohio won the first back in 1974, 73-63. Spread the floor for DJ Cooper. Looping feed. Same spot. Kellogg unable to hit. And it's rebounded by Gilchrist.
See if the Bulls can get untracked against Temple. They just really had their problems getting untracked in that first half, going 3 of 27 from the floor.
They had 15 first half points. Foul is called as Gilchrist took it strong right at Smith and still won the game. Ohio University out of Athens, Ohio, from the MAC Conference. Notable alumni among those, Michael Jack Schmidt. And I don't know Arsenio Hall's middle name.
But
you get the picture.
I get the drift.
Gilchrist at the free throw line held to just 2 points in that victory over Temple. Collins was the high man with 17, along with Rudd. They shot 34% in the game.
Well, and quite candidly, Ian, when you mentioned that they scored only 15 points in that first half, Temple only got 19. The only reason they won that game was because of their defense, because Temple could have been up 12 or 15 in the first half if they had gotten a little better rhythm.
They went nearly 16 minutes without a field goal, missed 22 in a row over a stretch in that first half. Fewest points by a winning team in a first half in the NCAA tournament since 1986. There's that stretch where they just could not make anything.
That's incredible, and they still won that game.
Third overall NCAA tournament appearance for South Florida. Got their first win in that first 4 matchup with Cal. Oh, great find. But Smith lost it on the way up. John Smith couldn't control it off the feed from DJ Cooper.
He saw Anderson coming at him.
5-2 lead for Ohio. Step through, and it's Gilchrist banking it in.
And Offutt's wondering why he didn't get a call right there. A little collision, but I like the no call. Let them play down deep. Good job there by Gilchrist with the good positioning at 6'10", 240 to make something happen.
5-4 now, Ohio in front. Gilchrist already has more points in the first 4 minutes than he had all of last game. And a foul out front. Collins came out to guard Kellogg, and he gets charged with a foul.
Interesting enough with the matchup, Collins is not on Cooper right now. He's on Kellogg. So the traditional point guards, even though Cooper is guarding down the other end, Stan Heath's point guard and Collins. So did I confuse you there? Cooper on Collins, Collins not on Cooper?
Jimmy, I wasn't even listening. Reggie Keeley checks in. Big man for Ohio. There's Cooper on a kick out. Baltic got off to a quick start the other day, but coughs it up.
Nice job by Anderson Jr. and good help there by Rudd to be there when the loose ball was triggered.
South Florida trailing 5-4 to Ohio. On a handoff for Robertson. Dish inside, the slammer. Augustus Gilchrist getting off to a hot start for the Bulls.
And I think because of that problem that he had against Temple in terms of getting on track with only 2 points, clearly they want to get him some touches and see if he can manufacture some pretty good points.
Cooper fires from deep. DJ Cooper, a long 3.
Robertson is guarding him, and it's 6'6". Cooper knows that he can go by him, and I think Robertson knows that also. Wow.
Collins thought he was fouled going to the rim. Here's Cooper the other way in transition. Robertson gets back. Cooper thought about the curl.
Yeah, watch the handle. He's got a great one.
Post up. Keeley. Isolation against Anderson. The spin. And he draws the foul. Anderson will pick it up in the paint.
And you take a look at the drive. There's the one they want. They want Gilchrist involved. And then Cooper, you better come out and guard him because that's what he can do.
All right, Greg, that's what we have for you here in Nashville, and good action to start things off between these two teams. Reggie Keeley going to the free throw line for Ohio, champions of the MAC. Keeley, a 69% shooter, had 10 points off the bench, made all his free throws in the second round win over Michigan. In that game, Ohio shot 51% from the field. Meanwhile, Stan Heat's team is playing now in its third game in 5 nights.
And keep in mind also, Ohio clamped down defensively too. We've been speaking about South Florida. They held Michigan to 41% shooting from the floor. So both of these teams pride themselves in tough man-to-man, aggressive half-court defense.
8 different players have led South Florida in scoring this season. Augustus Gilchrist is their leading scorer at 9.4 points per game. The lowest leading scorer for any team in the NCAA tournament. The only team not to be in double figures.
Yeah, and they have 7, though, that average 6.7 or higher. So it doesn't really matter who gets the points to win.
Collins looking to direct traffic, splits defenders, coughs it up, and Cooper. Potential breakaway. Cooper lays it in. Poland was too late getting back.
Defensively, once again, they squeeze the middle. Collins is known to put the ball on the floor and try to go through people. You make a mistake. We touched on the open very briefly. Decisions by the point guards are going to be very important.
And a 7-0 run for the Bobcats. Torlin Fitzpatrick is in for South Florida. Anthony Collins from Houston, Texas, controls the pace for this South Florida squad. Victor Rudd, who's missed on his first 2 attempts. He was knocking down threes in the first 2 games. Up top, high flyer. It's Rudd on the finish.
And the delivery got by Collins there is a good decision. So there you see the way they space the floor, look for backdoor opportunities. And you're right about Rudd. He is really impressed in the games we've seen him this week.
Here's Cooper, defended by Collins. Just about 7 minutes gone by in this first half. 12-8 Ohio. Keeley working around the horn. 14 to shoot. Cooper using the Smith screen. Keeley turns, leaner, no. And a foul call. Looked like that was going to be an uncontested rebound, and Smith's going to pick up the personal foul.
There's that little split move. He tries to go through. He loses the handle. Cooper just too fast to catch. And here's where he makes up for it with a nice lob to Rudd, who's really been playing very, very well upstairs with the finish. Rudd came up big in the last game, scoring 10 of their last 16 down the stretch.
Second foul called against John Smith, the transfer from St. Louis, so he heads to the bench. And Ivo Baltic comes back in for Ohio. Sean Noriega in for the first time for South Florida.
Yep, will shoot the ball, looks for that long-range shot, Noriega. You got to stay with him.
Also, Blake Nash seeing his first action. Fitzpatrick knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. Last touch by Baltic. Watch every 2012 March Madness game live on your computer, iPad, iPhone, or select Android phones with NCAA March Madness Live. Visit ncaa.com/March Madness for more info.
Got to get it in, just barely.
The lob way outside. Shot clock is down to 12. Nash takes a peek at the clock. He's defended by Stevie Taylor in the game for Ohio. Nash off the crossover, 5 to shoot. Nash knocks it down.
Those broken plays, sometimes if you just stay with them. Nice job there by Nash. I didn't think he was going to be able to get the handle in time, but had 3 seconds to spare just then with the half a fumble.
South Florida cuts it to 2, shooting it much better than they did in the first half the other game against Temple. Way off the mark, Stevie Taylor, the freshman. Now it's Nash. Anthony Collins getting a breather for South Florida.
These teams are not afraid to reload the offense. When it breaks down in the first 10, 15 seconds, both of them will pull it out like they're doing right now.
What a tough shot. And cleaned up on the interior by Anderson Jr.
Anderson Jr., who went scoreless in the game against Temple. He needs to find the range a little bit, see a couple of balls go down for him.
The son of former NBA veteran Ron Anderson. Also played overseas in France and Israel and just retired 2 years ago.
Pretty good career.
Here's Offutt making his move. He's fouled out front. and probably saved a basket. Fitzpatrick with a bump. Tied at 12. Ohio, the number 13 seed, looking to go to the Sweet 16. South Florida in the Bobcats' way. More first half action when we come back.
Mike, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
.28-7 record for Ohio, a new school mark for most victories in a season. And it's time right now for the Powerade Sideline Report. We get more on this Ohio program from our own Lewis Johnson.
Hi, and thanks so much. You know, oftentimes coaches use interesting analogies to make a point. And how about this one from John Gross from Ohio? Water boils at 212 degrees. Now, that's something that he picked up when he took over the program back in July of 2008 with only 9 scholarship players and a couple of walk-ons so they could have 5-on-5 practices. His idea is to turn up the temperature of his program 1 degree every day. Gross says he doesn't think they're there yet, but they're on the way. And imagine how much they could crank it up if they could make it to a Sweet 16 out of this opportunity here right now.
And Lewis, he served under Thad Matta at Butler, Xavier, Ohio State. He said that he learned how to treat people, the ability to connect with your players. And he's still a mentor for him to this day and a sounding board for Gross.
And even when they won the last game on, you could tell afterwards the feelings that he had towards his players. They were really celebrating in a unique way, I thought, after that game.
Check out, Nash lines it up, can't hit the three, same team. Keeley controls for Ohio.
Better get back in a hurry.
There's Cooper, lost it, going towards the rim. And last touch by Ohio. Conan's all new this week on TBS. Don't miss Ewan McGregor, Shaquille O'Neal, Joel McHale, and Will Ferrell. And all new Conan starts tomorrow, 11 Eastern, 10 Central, right here on TBS. Collins is back in, Noriega's on the bench, and Nash joins him. So it's Collins, Rudd Jr., Fitzpatrick, Gilchrist, and Robertson, the 5 on the floor, and a zone look here for Ohio.
2-3 look. Get to the middle of the floor, use the ball, put it on the floor to go by somebody.
There's Collins operating, using the screen.
They're not in a hurry. Look at the ball, be careful.
The cut, Robertson, the feed, and the jam. It's Victor Rudd.
Nice work to the middle of the floor. Great place to go against a 2-3 zone. And then look at your baselines. And we've seen Rudd work that baseline pretty effectively.
8-0 run for South Florida and a 2-point lead. High pick. They don't go pick and pop there. Baltic elects to give it up for Kellogg. Dangerous three-point shooter, the son of our colleague Clark Kellogg. Nick Kellogg, a sophomore from Westerville, Ohio.
Look.
Beautiful. Rejected. Fitzpatrick came through and negated Keeley. Collins stutter step. The funky delivery, it doesn't go.
Yeah, I don't think that last pass by Cooper was beautifully executed.
Here's Cooper. Gives it up. Jump shot for Kellogg. 3, no. And it's rebounded by Robertson for the Bulls.
Last 2 trips, they've gotten good looks. Kellogg's jumper from the outside, clear after the drive by Cooper, and the underneath pass.
Penetration. Collins on the scoop to the hoop. Ohio has gone over 5 minutes without a field goal, and it's a 16-12 lead for South Florida. 10-0 run now. There's Baltic. One-on-one, back in. Tried to step in on Fitzpatrick. Ball was tipped and out of bounds. Last touch by Rudd. This year, enjoy more madness with Coke Zero. Text CAMP to 2653 for a chance to attend an ultimate basketball camp with 3 of your friends. 16-12, South Florida, the 12 seed in the Midwest, leading Ohio, the 13 seed.
Robertson on Cooper. Robertson, one of the best defenders on this team, especially in the perimeter. It's a challenge, though, with a smaller guy.
DJ Cooper, shot clock down to 2. Outside, Hall didn't know it. It's a shot clock violation.
Well, that's just a mental breakdown, Ian, because you have to understand, especially when the ball got tipped out of bounds. John Gross's team has to understand the clock situation there.
TJ Hall, sophomore from Gainesville, Florida, turning it over. First half points against Temple. South Florida had 15. They've got 16 with just over 8 minutes to play here.
Is that an explosion?
I think that would be an explosion, yeah. In the context of scoring for South Florida, yes, agreed.
Yeah, that was a long half by any standards. 3 of 27 for 11%.
And you know what, Stan? He'd said, look, there's no doubt the team was pressing a bit in that first half, but he has seen it before. It's the 3rd time this year that they've gone over 10 minutes without a field goal made. And they find ways to win games.
Well, they do, because they hold people down in scoring. You know, the last team to score 60 points against them was back on January 29th, Providence. So they'll hold you down. Nice step in. Does he save it? Good try by Cooper. Oh, look at underneath. Oh, beautiful pass.
Again, Rudd roaming baseline, and it's poked out of bounds. That's 12 straight games where they have held the opponent under 60 points.
Look at this bounce pass. He had to keep it low, and a good defensive effort there to save a bucket.
Open look, Rudd. Can't hit the 3. South Florida not making plays from the perimeter. They've gotten their points on the inside.
Cooper's fun to watch.
Over 6 minutes now without a field goal. Offutt trying to end the drought. Quick release, doesn't go, but Offutt is there. Cooper fires short on a 3-ball.
Yeah, he was drifting to his right just a touch. That's why that finished off right.
Collins seems to go in slow motion, yet he gets to any spot on the floor that he needs to.
Right, because you see him just then. Watch, he handles the ball, but watch how low he gets. And Collins is right down there with him, or Cooper, I should say.
Robertson, the leaner. Hall couldn't grab it. Cooper falls down, and there will be a foul called at midcourt on Rudd Jr. Not sure if they were going to get a travel on the slide by Cooper.
Yeah, here comes that baseline cut by Rudd again with the finish.
Game summary here in Nashville. South Florida in front 16-12. Ohio having a tough time on the offensive end. They've missed on their last 6 attempts. Happy birthday to Victor Rudd Jr. turning 21 for South Florida. Iron Eagle Jim Spinarkle along with Lewis Johnson here on TBS. And for Ohio, they shot 51% against Michigan. That has not been the case here. John Gross saying that this is by far the best defensive team that they'll have faced this year.
I agree with them. They really clamp down. They make every single possession very, very difficult for you. And then at the offensive end, they're a little spotty. You know, they come and go. But when they get it going, they all seem to be involved. On the offensive glass, you see Anderson right here along the baseline. It's happy birthday to Rudd with the dunk. And Collins, who can put it on the floor that we've seen all in the first 2 games that we've done with them. Very low to the floor, very difficult to stop him once he gets it going and towards the basket.
Gross added that South Florida has size, length, athleticism on the defensive end, and this has been a much tougher task tonight compared to what we saw 2 days ago against Michigan. Cooper swings it, Baltic for 2. And rebound snared by Robertson.
That's a shot that Baltic can hit. Last game he hit a few of those just like that. He's got that nice looking jumper from that spot.
Ivo Baltic had 10 points and 7 rebounds in a 5-point win over the number 4 seed here in the Midwest, the Wolverines of Michigan. Here's Rudd. Gilchrist releases, but Rudd didn't see the roll. 7 to shoot. Collins directing traffic. Offutt, their top perimeter defender. Collins, crossover, kick out. Robertson lets it fly. No good. Looked like a shot clock violation, though we didn't hear a sound.
Yeah, it was almost one of those bang-bang type of plays. It felt that way.
Here's Offutt. Baseline drive, contact, and a foul called against Anderson Jr. Offutt very aggressive, taking it to the hoop. As we bring in Lewis Johnson right now. Lewis.
Well, guys, remember Ohio is struggling through this 10-0 run right now. John Gross told his players, look, if we go through a stretch of 2, 3, 4 minutes where we don't score, welcome to the party. Because South Florida has been doing this to teams all year long. It's a calling card. He said, number 1, don't get frustrated. Just keep cracking that nut, and hopefully over the course of 40 minutes we can manufacture enough points. And he knew this was coming.
That ends the 10-0 run with Offutt at the free throw line. Rick Pitino was asked about facing South Florida. He said their defense is like getting root canal. And I can tell you that's not fun.
Not my first choice. But, you know, to Lewis's point, that's a great point that they make. Because you have to weather storms. But there's 2 things you have to do. You have to make your free throws when you get to the line, and we've seen a couple of those easier shots and open shots. You have to hit your open shots against this South Florida team.
Off the double team, Gilchrist elects not to shoot it. We approach 6 minutes to play in this first half. Fitzpatrick fires, can't hit the 3. Gilchrist, the offensive rebound, takes it strong. Got caught underneath. Rudd Jr. on a pump. The drive, the flip, no. And Keeley with the board.
Somebody got underneath Rudd just then and got a little distracted on the rim.
Cooper trying to turn the corner, fend off from Robertson. Whoa, lunging attempt almost went down from Keeley.
Got 5 on 3 right here if you hurry.
Collins to Rudd, jump shot, book it, a 3.
Nice way to take advantage of that effort by Ohio on the offensive glass, but 2 guys go down. It's an easy 5 on 3. It's like a power play in hockey if you don't get a shot off there.
I'm not comfortable when you analyze other sports, Jimmy. That's 7 points now for Victor Rudd. Cooper taking the baseline, kick out, a 3. Count it for TJ Hall. He shoots it at 28% from long range. He hit one the other night in the victory over Temple. So North Carolina has advanced. The victory in Greensboro over Creighton, the number 1 seed, is into the Sweet 16. Will meet the survivor of this one.
And that's the type of shot that they must hit. When they get those open shots like that, they have to hit 60% of them.
19-16 South Florida, under 5 minutes to play now. First half. Gilchrist.
Be careful, big guy.
Turns it over. Cooper couldn't grab it. Offutt claims he's got it and looking for a timeout.
You know what? That's a good call. I like that call. Offutt was looking over towards us. The official could not see that he had possession of the ball. He gets help from the weak side. Watch, it's behind the back timeout that he calls. Great play.
Robertson didn't have it. It was on his back.
Yeah.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. Scores and highlights, latest NCAA tournament news, plus the announcement of the finalists for the Naismith Award presented by AT&T. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Ohio, one of the best teams in the nation at forcing turnovers. They force 17.7 turnovers per game under head coach John Gross. They're 6th in the country in turnover ratio, a plus 4.3, but it's the opposite so far. They've turned it over 6 times, and South Florida has limited the turnovers to just 3. Hall, oh, he's feeling it. Rainbow delivery doesn't go. Rebound, controlled by Offutt, and he gets the bucket on the interior.
That was a tip also by Cooper just then. Collins and Cooper about the same size on that one. Cooper just got a rebound, offensive tip rebound to his partner.
And Offutt now has 8. Ohio trails South Florida by 1. We come up on 4 minutes to play. First half, double team, a hard double, and Gilchrist gets out of trouble. Here's Collins over Kellogg. Gets the roll, feathery touch from the freshman point guard.
It's an odd-looking jump shot, but he can shoot it. He's got a good touch from right around that spot, especially if he drives to the basket from about 5 feet away, the same type of shot.
Bulls lead by 3. Here's Cooper in the half court. Hall releases from the screen, 18 to shoot. Kellogg using the pick from Baltic, pick and pop. Baltic a little indecisive there.
Yep, that's the one he can hit.
Bounce for Hall, baseline drive. Hall tried to squeeze it in, and it's rebounded by Fitzpatrick. Collins getting low to the floor.
Yeah, you're not going to get that low. Hall at 6'6". There's a long way to go to get that one off his ankles.
Jawanza Poland is in the game. Tremendous athlete for South Florida.
Yep, it's off the floor in a hurry.
Collins calls out a play with 13 to shoot, under 3 minutes to play first half. Post up, turnaround jumper, Gilchrist banks it in. That's 8 for Augustus Gilchrist. Over 1,000 career points at South Florida. Scoring numbers were better last year, but Stan Heath says he's become a better all-around player this year. Offutt, it rims out. Terrific drive, but he couldn't finish it.
Well, he really attacks aggressively and used the inside hand that trip.
Fitzpatrick, he's got range. The 3, no. Rebound, Rudd trying to track it down. He does. Fitzpatrick in attack mode. He gets the roll. South Florida opens up a 7-point lead. Just over 2 minutes left in the first half.
Never know where Rudd's going to come from.
Cooper, denied by Collins. Cooper gets it back. Cooper will fire and hits the tray. DJ Cooper just keeps coming at you.
Backs you out, too. He gets one block, and then he backs it out to 3. Collins and Cooper going at it now. They're matched up at both ends of the floor.
This is going to be a fantastic matchup throughout the night with these two guys.
It really will be. Both of them quick. They understand how to play and deliver. Look at this.
Collins splits defenders. The lunge, it doesn't go. Rebound knocked to the outside. Poland couldn't grab it. Baltic does. Ohio running with Kellogg. Fakes on the pull-up. Now he'll take it. Off the mark for 3, and it's rebounded by Fitzpatrick. Knocked away. Cooper almost came up with a steal. And here comes Collins for South Florida. They've got numbers here. Collins flicks it out. Rudd, the drive. Kick out. Dangerous pass to Collins on the perimeter, and now he'll slow it down.
I was looking over at Stan Heath. He's got the hand up saying, hey, guys, where'd this transition come from all of a sudden? Slow down and get a good shot with 10 on the shot clock.
We will hit the 1-minute mark of this first half. 4-point lead for South Florida. Poland gives it up. Rudd, catch and fire. Can't get the 3. Long rebound, Fitzpatrick.
Kick it out again, reload. This is how they work. They work the clock. They get offensive rebounds. They take their time with it.
They limit the possessions for the other team. Stan Heath will take a 30-second timeout. So we'll step aside quickly here with 45.3 remaining in the first half and a tight one here in Nashville. I'll catch you into it. South Florida 25, Ohio 21. This is the 12 seed against the 13 seed in the Midwest. One of these two teams is going to the Sweet 16 to meet North Carolina in St. Louis. John Gross's squad got off to a terrific start against Michigan and able to hold off the Wolverines late. Here tonight, it's been more of a struggle on the offensive end against one of the best defensive teams in the nation. They are shooting 30% from the field. 2 years ago, Ohio was a 14 seed. They beat Georgetown 97-83, but then lost in the round of 32 to Tennessee. They got throttled 83-68. 19-second difference, shot clock to game clock.
That's where they like to keep a lot of motion.
Fitzpatrick to Collins with 12.
Occasionally go for a dunk if they get one.
Collins, the drive. Oh, he got hit hard right in the face. He gets down so low that he'll hit the leg or the knee of a defender.
It's only the 15th foul.
Take a look at this collision.
Oh boy, he knows it's coming.
Anthony Collins, point guard for South Florida, has the reputation for being a fearless freshman looking for an opening here. Bang.
Wow. So you want to play point guard, huh, in the NCAA tournament? That is a pretty good whack right there. But no surprise, guess who's back on the floor?
Ivo Baltic called on the foul. And as you mentioned, they did have the foul to give. 28.1 left to play.
Still have another one to give if they need it. And they got shooters on the floors in both corners. Noriega in the right, Rudd on the left corner. Be afraid to see a backdoor cut to the basket too with Rudd for a lob.
Ricardo Johnson in for defensive purposes, and there's the foul. 9.8 remaining in this first half.
Pretty good strategy right there. Put a guy in who doesn't have foul trouble, get the foul, let the clock go down, but you still have 9 and change to work.
John Smith, early foul trouble, will check in, replacing Baltic.
Matchup defense just then with another substitution.
Just under 10 seconds left. Collins circles to the ball. 8 seconds left. Collins with 6. Looks to the clock with 4. Collins makes his move. 2, 1. Draws the foul with .8. The creativity of Anthony Collins as Offutt drew the assignment. And that's a big call. It's number 2 on Offutt.
Yeah, you know, if Offutt did not ride him the whole way, watch the ride. You see that ride in the left hand? That's a good call from the officials because, you know, nobody in the building's going to be able to see that call line except for the guys on the baseline down there where they could see the push. But that was a good call from the officials.
Collins knocks down the free throw, 84% from the free throw line this season. Noriega will sit, replaced by Robertson. 5 points, 4 assists for Anthony Collins.
And some may say with .8 on the clock, let them play it out. But if it's a foul, it's a foul. If you don't call that, you penalize the offensive player.
Collins, the only starter who signed with South Florida out of high school. Every other starter came from somewhere else.
You still have time to catch it and shoot, but no time for a dribble right here.
John Gross instructing his team to go down the floor. And TJ Hall will be the trigger man.
This is where you flip it because you just never know what's going to happen.
Hall, long pass.
Well, that's going to go back down right where they took it out of bounds, Ian.
That's exactly what you didn't want.
Yeah, exactly, because now you have the ability to go split to the basket. You have an ability to go around the corner and take a jumper. And I was watching the ball in flight, but who decides not, I think, for Florida State. Maybe they just can't get, but the guy behind, who is Gilchrist, could have put a play on that.
27-21. Augustus Gilchrist was the deep man. So now Baltic will come back in. No time came off the clock. I'm not sure they can substitute here. Trying to sneak in Baltic, and I think that's what the officials are discussing. Yep, TJ Hall is going to have to come back on.
Gilchrist is a big target, keep in mind. There'll be some activity away from the basketball, maybe a little distraction, and then a delayed lob towards the middle of the floor.
Rudd will toss it in for South Florida. .8 on the clock.
Interior guys have to watch the ball so they're not blindsided with a lob.
Rudd looks. He'll get a shot off. Fitzpatrick at the horn. It rings out. And that's the end of the first half in Nashville. 27-21, South Florida in front of Ohio. And the winner moves on to the Sweet 16 as we send it over to Lewis Johnson.
Thanks, Ian. All right, Coach, so you're getting your points in the paint. Slight edge and turnover battle. What do you like about this first half, and what are your adjustments for the second?
That's a really good basketball team we're playing. We've got to do a good job on Cooper. We've got to continue to do a good job there. We need to finish and handle some of those traps a little bit better.
All right, how about Anthony Collins? He took a big shot there to the head. Is he okay?
Oh, that guy's tough as nail. He's fine.
Okay, had to check. Thanks. All right, Stan. Ian?
All right, thanks, Lewis. 27-21, South Florida leading Ohio. Third round action from the NCAA tournament. We'll send it AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
now, fans, welcome to Marching 110, featuring Rufus and the cheerleaders from Ohio University. NCAA selects its more than 400,000 student athletes participating in 23 sports and 89 national championships. For more information on these championships, log on to ncaa.com. The NCAA Experience offers official fan ticket hospitality packages for selected NCAA championships. Visit ncaa.com/hospitality for more information. NCAA basketball fans watch coverage from every game along with the 2012 Division I Men's Basketball Championship online, on your phone, or on your iPad for $3.99. Sign up now for March Madness Live, available at ncaa.com to view championship highlights, recaps, and archived video. Are you a fan of NCAA sports? Well, be sure to prove it by going to ncaa.org/social media to get all your NCAA updates. All right, fans, checking out some of the third round action. Still going right now. Florida is up playing over Oklahoma State late the second. And Lehigh.
Halftime in the Midwest region from Nashville, South Florida leading Ohio 27-21. Two outstanding lead guards going head-to-head. DJ Cooper from the Bobcats. The little lefty leads the way, and the freshman Anthony Collins for South Florida. Second half action is coming up here on TBS. We are just about set for second half action. 27-21, South Florida in front. Moments ago, Lewis Johnson caught up with Ohio coach John Gross.
Coach, you told me yesterday that this game could very well be in the 40s or 50s, and we seem to be on the way to that. And having said that, how important are these first 4 or 5 minutes to establish your offense?
Well, I think it's critical for sure. You know, I thought the difference in the first half, I thought both teams were terrific defensively. They made some layups and dunks. You know, we missed a couple chippies there around the basket. Otherwise, it'd be basically knotted. You know, I think the team that's able to generate some easy baskets this half is going to have a huge advantage.
All right, thanks. Good luck.
Thanks, Lewis.
All right, thank you, Lewis. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinarkle here in Nashville, the rest of our TBS crew. Golden opportunity for these two teams to get to the Sweet 16. And waiting there is North Carolina. We just heard from our studio crew. And that's tough news to swallow for North Carolina. Their lead guard, Kendall Marshall, it is a fractured right wrist. Heard from Roy Williams as well. That changes things a bit in that portion of the bracket, well, potentially.
Yeah, let's assume that he's not playing just for a second. Look at the negative side, and I think Coach Lavin in the studio hit it right on the head in terms of the dynamics of one of the best assist guys in the country. Yeah. You do not want to experiment this time of the year with different lineups, so he's vital to that team. It'll be interesting to see. Now, this is only a guess that he's not playing, so we're talking about that side of the equation. But with that said, you can probably get to one game, make some adjustments, and hopefully a sub comes in and fills that role temporarily. But to climb over a couple of games, I think it's very, very difficult as the competition gets stiffer and stiffer.
Number 1 seed, North Carolina in the Midwest, advanced with a victory over Creighton to St. Louis. They will play the winner of this one, the 12-13 matchup in Nashville. Short pop doesn't go for Gilchrist to open up the second half. And now here's DJ Cooper. Normally you would say, well, he took some really tough shots in the first half. He takes a lot of tough shots. He makes a lot of tough shots.
That he does.
Kellogg never got it going in the first half.
But as their coach just said, they got to find some easy shots and make them.
Baltic, baseline, knocked out of bounds, and last touch by South Florida. First half numbers with the Bulls in front by 6, 30% shooting for Ohio. South Florida, 1 of 9 from three-point territory. Offutt and Collins, the only starters that have scored.
Those 10 points in the paint differential is huge for South Florida right now.
Could say Offutt and Cooper for Ohio. And here is Cooper for 3, short. Rebound, good box out there by Robertson stepping in front of Cooper.
Yeah, the basics are if the ball hits the floor, the defensive end, you know more than one guy has been doing a good job blocking out the opposition.
The last 13 seed to advance to the Sweet 16, Bradley in 2006. And this is the MO for Stan Heath's squad. Use the shot clock, take your time. Penetration, Collins, the bounce, dangerous, turnover. Offutt able to get a handle on it, and then Smith scoops it up.
And Ohio knows they don't want to get down double digits to this team because they're very difficult to change any kind of tempo and get transition buckets on.
Cooper directing traffic now. He splits defenders, kick out. Offutt lines it up, cans it, a 3.
Nice way to track the ball just then by Offutt. He was about 3 steps further out. He was protecting in case of a turnover. When the little guy Cooper drove, he kind of inched his way in for an easier jump shot.
11 for Walter Offutt. He's really developed a well-rounded game. Excellent defensive player. Ohio's now 5 of 12 from three-point territory and a 3-point lead for South Florida. Collins, 10 to shoot.
I think possessions are important in this style.
Off the drive and kick. Rudd will fire. Can't hit the 3. Offensive rebound. Anderson with an easy stick back.
Yeah, he's been pretty quiet, but he could also get to that offensive glass and nudge people around before the ball kicks. Keep in mind, those shots that miss from the left side, about 70%, will kick to the right side, so great positioning on the glass.
Here's Cooper on the stutter step. High off the window, DJ Cooper. He's in double figures with 10, and he really makes this Bobcats team go.
Did you say something about tough shots? That was pretty difficult right there.
29-26, South Florida. Here's Rudd on the perimeter. Feed it to the post, double comes on Anderson. 15 to shoot. Anderson, deflected ball by Baltic. Get it ahead, leak out, Kellogg. The drive, rejected! Do not go in there! Rudd got him defensively. Ohio, though, able to retain. Cooper a 3, no. And rebounded by Anderson.
Rudd has some hops, doesn't he? And he timed that perfectly. No quitting their defense, even on what appears to have been a breakaway layup attempt.
29-26, South Florida with the lead. 3.5 minutes gone by, second half. Hitting the deck. Collins to Robertson. Fans here thought it was a travel. Rudd off the dribble drive and the floater.
Well, the question by rule would be whether he left the floor or kept his left foot glued to the floor, even if you can go up on the point of your toe.
Los Angeles native Victor Rudd, now with 9 points on his 21st birthday. Offutt had his jersey grabbed by Rudd, and it's a foul on the outside. 20-8, South Florida is outscoring Ohio in the paint.
Let's take a look first if this is going to be a... Well, that one's okay right there. The question was on the other one previous to that. And is this an intentional foul line with the grab of the jersey like we saw 2 days ago?
And we saw Rudd get called for it, in fact. Officials just came together. And yes, Rudd is called on grabbing at the jersey of Walter Offutt. Flagrant 1, contact above shoulders, elbows not swung excessively, 2 shots, ball to the offended team. The flagrant 2 is the extremely excessive force, the swinging of the elbows excessively or abusive, and you get ejected. Take a look here as Offutt made his move behind the back, and there's the tug of the jersey.
Yeah, by rule, they have it correct. But I'm not, well, yeah, you know what? It's a little bit more, from that angle, it's a little bit worse than the first angle.
So it sends Offutt to the free throw line, and Ohio will retain it. 71% shooter.
See, with that call right there, it's the correct call by the officials. But by rule, I'm not so sure the penalty should be as large as it is right here. You get 2 free throws. I think on that type of play right there, I mean, that's out on the court. He grabs, you know, he's almost reaching out. He grabs the shirt. He gets his hand stuck in the shirt. He gets his arm. I think the penalty there is too much. I think that one should, but the officials got it right with what they did and made the call.
Penalty doesn't match the crime.
Right, exactly.
There's Baltic on the outside for Offutt. They get 2 points out of it. A tie game. The 3-ball, and Walter Offutt is starting to get hot.
Because the penalty now is a 5-point possession.
We are knotted up at 31 apiece. Collins way outside. They show him a double. Now it's Poland in. 16 for Offutt. Oh, he went for the big finish. As Victor Rudd broke out the crank, the foul is called. Stan Heath still wants an explanation on the grab of the jersey from Tony Green.
Yeah, the birthday boy gets called for the reach and the grab, and then Offutt with the jumper. Look at the elevation, a finish. John Gross will take 5-point possessions all night long.
Since 1979, 12 seeds are 8-1 against 13 seeds in this tournament. And that's the matchup we have here in the Midwest Regional. South Florida and Ohio tied at 31. Victor Rudd Jr. goes to the free throw line and a chance to crack double figures here. His season average is 9 points per game. He's put together quite a run so far in the NCAA tournament, beginning in Dayton with the 65-54 win over California on Wednesday night. Rudd, who put up 30 points earlier this season against Marist, lit it up in the second half against St. John's with 24. He's capable of scoring in bunches.
He sure is. Last four averaging 15, but prior to that, the previous four didn't get the double digits, so little up and down on occasion, but you're right, he's explosive in a lot of ways.
Lowest scoring team in the Big East at 59 points per game. Inside, Smith got the angle and got the foul. Didn't get the bucket to go down, but the foul will work against Torlin Fitzpatrick. Tournament summary, the states of Ohio currently and Florida combined 10-0. Obviously that streak's going to end here. Kendall Marshall, a fractured right wrist, North Carolina, and no overtime game so far in this 2012 NCAA tournament. The Bobcats from Athens, Ohio, the Mid-American Conference. In the tournament, they knocked off Toledo, Buffalo, and Akron to get the automatic bid. They did play a Big East team this season. On November the 25th, they lost to Louisville 59-54. DJ Cooper had 16 in that game. Rudd, the lob, and the timing was off. It looked like it banged off the rim as he was trying to hit Fitzpatrick.
It did, the front rim. Nice little change up there by Ohio. That might be going the other way, though.
It is. Keeley on the clear out against Anderson.
Yeah, they change up the defense, Ohio. They get South Florida to come down and make a quick entry pass like that. Stan Heath doesn't want his team on occasion really to run that much, but they'll take some transition, and then you come right back and hand it over.
And that's the 8th Ohio turnover of the night. South Florida with a chance to regain the lead here. Here's Poland. Finds a crack. Poland gives it up. Fitzpatrick lays it in. Trying to speed it up in transition a bit after a made basket, but South Florida gets back defensively.
That theory being, let's beat them down the floor a little bit before they clamp up on us with the half-court defense.
There's Cooper now with 16 to shoot. High screen, Keeley. Collins pitches over, tried to work under the screen, and Cooper, a veteran play. He got Collins to lean in and commit, and he's shooting 3 free throws.
Now, you know you don't want to leave your feet defensively, right? But look at how far out Cooper is on the floor. As good as he is from long range, and it's too late for Collins right now, that's one if he's going to take, I think you have to let him score from there.
DJ Cooper was recruited by Baylor, and after they lost out on John Wall, they stepped up the recruiting on Cooper, but Cooper didn't like the idea that he was their second choice and said, I want to be the first choice somewhere else. He signed on with John Gross and Ohio. Cooper's parents in attendance here in Nashville. Cooper knocks down the second free throw, and he's got a third one coming after missing on the first. So DJ Cooper out of Chicago, Seton Academy, won a state title. Teammate of his was Tony Dixon from Northern Illinois on that squad.
Here they come again with their full court action.
12 points now for Cooper, the junior.
You got to go over the top and make a basketball play once you get by everybody. Nice little job here by Ohio to go back and fall back quickly when they sensed they were in a little bit of trouble.
That's opposed to a football play or a baseball play, yes?
All right.
Poland comes up short on the floater. I believe now we've spent 96 consecutive hours together over this past week.
And I have had enough of you.
Second round coverage of the 2012 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship begins tomorrow, 7 o'clock. ESPN2, that's Eastern time. For more info on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. Second foul on Kellogg. And the free throw for Jawanza Poland.
By the way, there's a nice restaurant down the block here. I have a table for one.
You're ready to break away. States of success. We told you about what Ohio and Florida has done. And these are the teams still in the NCAA.
That's amazing when you look at that.
Cincinnati, Ohio, Ohio State, Xavier, Florida, Florida State, and the University of South Florida from the Sunshine State. 36-35. Bulls in front. Kick out. Baltic. Keeley.
Nice kick out again. Boy, they do recover to the perimeter.
Cooper lines it up. Can't hit the three. It comes off the rim, and it's rebounded by Rudd. Collins calls out a play. They're in no rush. Ever.
Yeah, never seem to be unless they get a flat-out breakaway.
Here's Poland. The back end. Poland, that shot was with 19 on the shot clock. Oh, great effort inside by Anderson. The offensive rebound and the deuce.
And a almost off-balance delivery. Nice spin-back action going away from the glass.
They're out-rebounding Ohio 23-17. They have a three-point lead with just under 13 minutes to play in the second half. Cooper being watched by Collins. Cooper is 4 of 10 from the field. Now it's Keeley getting a touch. Banging bodies with Anderson. Keeley lost it out of bounds. Anderson with a terrific defensive play.
Yeah, here's the play. Watch, he loses his balance just a touch, but he gets it up so quickly that the off-balance part of the play doesn't affect it because the shot is already off.
Ron Anderson Jr. out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Anthony Collins is going to get a rest. He's replaced by Blake Nash. Anderson Jr. He's got a nose for the ball in the games that we've now seen them play. We were with this team in Dayton for the first 4 against Cal. 5 South Florida blocks now. Compare that to just 1 for Ohio. And they can rotate big bodies. Gilchrist back in for Stan Heath's squad.
Cooper taking a break also.
So it's Blake Nash.
Oh, look at this one. Little
Steal.
kick out.
Stevie Taylor to the rim, denied, and recovers for the bucket.
Nice finish there by Taylor to let that ball come down so it avoided the jump ball call.
Ohio almost daring South Florida run on them, but they don't take the bait. We come up on 12 minutes to play.
The clock just keeps disappearing, doesn't it, in the half court? Look at this again. Oh!
Taylor called on the reach-in.
Let's take a look here. He just dribbles it kind of off his foot. And watch the finish here to see the ball comes down and it's loose, so it's not a jump ball. And here, I think here it's because of his right arm. Watch. The right arm is in the way, and that's a good call from the official right there.
And that's it for Collins. He got about a 45-second rest.
The off-season's long. You can rest plenty.
Outside, Fitzpatrick. Tried to dump it inside, and it went right through the hands of Augustus Gilchrist. Turnover, South Florida. Ohio with a chance to take the lead when we come back. And Greg, C.J. McCollum from Lehigh is the real deal. Duke found out about it. Now Xavier is, and it's Baylor waiting in the wings for a matchup in the Sweet 16 down in Atlanta.
Little talent on that Baylor team also.
38-37, South Florida in front. Ohio with possession. Offutt swings it for Keeley. Now it's Baltic getting a touch. He's been quiet, and a steal. Collins rips it away. Collins on the drive, and he goes down hard. Foul called.
Collins so quick to step in on the steal. Watch the big guys. They put the ball down. You notice when the ball was just about ready to leave his hands, that's when Collins made his move, and he goes into a disappearing act on this drive. Attacks, he gets hit about 2 or 3 times right there, and the worst part of it is where he landed on the floor. He looks like he's taken his bumps tonight, hasn't he?
Been tossed around like a rag doll. Collins shooting it at 84%. Older brother J.D. played point guard at West Virginia.
As he gets that left hand down just to brace it a little bit. He took a good shot in the first half.
South Florida as a team now 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Knocks down a pair. 8 points for Anthony Collins.
Good guy to have as your point guard. He shoots at 85% from the free throw line.
3-point lead for the Bulls. Hall, the lob, missed the dunk. Keeley unable to finish it, and it looked like a perfect pass towards the rim. Collins swings it early in the shot clock. Poland comes up short.
You know what's interesting on that lob? Ian Gilchrist was the last guy back. He never saw the player behind him at all. It was perfectly done. Keeley was right there. You take a look, watch over the top. You see 24, he has no idea where the ball is. It's going down, not so much. Game summary with South Florida in front 40-37.
And the Bulls shooting it much better than they did a couple of nights ago, 43%, not making their threes. Turnovers are even, dominating the paint. Offutt, the high man for Ohio, with 16. Collins with 8 points. He's been knocked down 3 times.
And he's gotten up after each one. Here was a tough one in the first half. Here he loses his balance a little bit at both ends of the floor. Inching towards a TKO, but not quite, huh? He's back on his feet.
Stan Heath telling Lewis Johnson at halftime, hey, he's okay, he's tough. Rudd the steal. South Florida with a 3-point advantage and the ball. Cooper defending Collins. They show on a double with Smith. Here's Fitzpatrick. Collins way outside. 12 to shoot. Need some help. Fitzpatrick now. 8 to shoot. Give it up for Poland. Shot clock is down to 5. Rudd. Couple dribbles. High arcing delivery. Air ball. Poland rimming no. And it's rebounded by Hall.
Yeah, those air balls usually end up in the offensive player's hands. Hard to block out and get the timing down.
Mismatch right here. DJ Cooper wants a clear out against Fitzpatrick.
Anderson was waiting behind them, though.
Now it's Offutt one-on-one with Rudd. Using the screen, a switch. 12 to shoot. Cooper, they stick with this matchup. Trying to take him off the dribble. 5 to shoot. Cooper reloads with 3. With 2. Cooper gets it off. Fake shot doesn't go. And it's rebounded by Rudd. Collins streaks ahead. He's got a mismatch with Smith. Now they switch. Lob and slam! Poland goes up on a special delivery by Collins. Technical foul called as he hung on to the rim for South Florida.
Well, it's a terrific look. Let's see how long he lasts on the rim. I think my first look was he stayed on it and hung on it.
Yep.
Is that pretty straightforward?
It is. Nobody underneath.
Nobody underneath, and the ball goes through the hoop, and look at how long down below. You have to be better prepared. Now, once again, I'm not the expert on dunking the basketball, so by no means whatsoever. And if I could do that, I would have hung up there about 5 more seconds. But the bottom line is you have to get off the rim. There's, as you touched on, nobody there. If there's a player underneath them, you can hang on that as long as you want until you get clearance. Not a good decision by Poland right there.
So that negates the dunk. Nick Kellogg knocks down a pair of free throws. Nice of you to give out the caveat on your skills when you go airborne, or lack thereof. So Poland will sit. Stan Heath makes a change here.
I was a ground hugger.
Hugh Robertson is in. This is a 3-point game, 42-39. South Florida. Kellogg lines it up. And it rims in for 3.
I think Kellogg was saying to himself right there, how did I get this wide open? There was a little traffic behind him, little miscommunication by the Bulls, and all of a sudden he comes out firing. Terrific delivery, too, right on the money.
He had not scored until those free throws, which sometimes mentally might get you going just to see the ball go through the hoop.
Nice double team.
Anderson gives it up. Gilchrist, should say Fitzpatrick on the inside, and Kellogg was draped all over him. And he'll pick up the foul. That's going to be number 3 on Nick Kellogg. Selected to the MAC All-Tournament team. Been such a consistent 3-point shooter. 42% on the season. Hard double Fitzpatrick. Cross court. Rudd. He did save it to the wrong team. Offutt, the go-ahead. Kellogg layup, no, but a foul. And Ohio with a chance to grab the lead at the 8:34 mark of this second half.
Another wild play along the sidelines. I'm not so sure he missed this. Very, very close in terms of the save. Kellogg trying to put one down using that frame. A little bit of strength on the right side of the floor.
Collins is called on his 3rd.
90-plus free throw shooter.
91 on the season. And the Kellogg family in attendance. This is older brother Alex on the left. And his mom on the right. Rosie Kellogg. Alex's phone is going to be buzzing in about 5 seconds.
Maybe Clark's also.
Good point. Turning. Gilchrist. Block on the inside, but a foul. So Augustus Gilchrist will head to the free throw line. 69% shooter with Ohio in front by 1. Second foul on Reggie Keeley of the Bobcats.
We referenced them a couple of times. The studio did also in terms of the anticipation of a close game, a low-scoring game, meaning that every possession is very, very valuable. As we drift away in the clock, if this stays close, the last 3 minutes of this game is going to be brutal coming down the stretch if it's close coming down.
South Florida shooting it at 91% at the line tonight. Ohio's at 80%. And 2 out of 2. It's not the most fluid motion, but it's effective for Gilchrist. He has a deep knee bend, and then he's got a hitch.
Yeah, and a hesitation, and effective though.
It works. And it gives South Florida a 1-point lead. We approach 8 minutes to play here in Nashville.
Yeah, this defense has been great at both ends all evening long, and I don't know how it's going to get better, but it might just very well get better.
Offutt had the hole clogged up by Gilchrist. 10 to shoot. Cooper takes a peek at his head coach, Gross.
Get to the baseline, give him some room.
Cooper, dump down inside. Keeley, a denial, but a foul.
There's not going to be any easy layups, that's for sure. Stan Heath thinks he went straight up. Generally, that means there's some body involved. Let's take a look. And there it is, chest to chest. I know the hand is good, but the chest has to be counted also.
Third foul on Anderson. The Sweet 16 begins Thursday with the Infinity NCAA tip-off on TBS. That's 6 p.m. followed by doubleheaders on CBS and TBS. Second weekend of the 2012 NCAA tournament. The Heath family, Ramona, Josh, Jordan. I'll tell you the scouting report on Josh right now. He has tremendous length. Keeley at the free throw line. Reggie Keeley, 69%. That's impressive.
Both of these teams taking different visions on how to get to the tied score that we have, Ian, in terms of 7 for 16 from Ohio from the three-point stripe in the paint. USF, South Florida dominated.
Oh, Collins cutting to the rim. What a dart he is going towards the hoop. He's got 10.
28 to 10 points in the paint.
46-44, South Florida, the 12 seed, leading the 13 seed Ohio. Winner will play North Carolina in St. Louis next week. Into the hands of Cooper, defended by Robertson. Cooper makes his move. Kick out. Offutt fires the three. Bottom.
Boy, was that a beautiful shot. I thought for a split second that he was going to put it on the deck and make a play. He leaned, came back, got the strength under the legs, and another terrific decision by Cooper, who was looking to draw a foul on that drive.
19 now for Offutt. 4 of 4 from three-point range and a 1-point lead for Ohio. We're under 7 minutes to play.
Last two buckets, one from the three-point stripe, the other in the paint. Let's see if the trend continues. Collins
between the legs with a dribble. Now a double team on Collins, 9 to shoot. The spin and the turnover, he coughed it up. In transition, it's Cooper. Waits for his teammates and gets it back.
Good decision right there. They did not have the numbers, even though they did it up for a moment.
Cooper the drive. Kick out. Keeley can't hit it. And a hold on Smith, trying to deny Anderson on a path to the basketball.
Well, you take a look at the quickness of Collins getting to the basket. And then on the other end, see how he takes that big stride with his right foot right there, but then he pulls it back to get the strength underneath him again. Looks easy the way he just did that, but very difficult to execute. 8th
team foul against Ohio, so 1-1 right now for Ron Anderson Jr., who shoots it at just 49%. Air ball. And it's going the other way. Over on TNT, Purdue off to a great start against Kansas, 11-2. And now Xavier has cut into that Lehigh lead, 37-33 at the half. Second half will be coming up over on True TV.
I think there's a little nerves out here.
A little bit.
Free throw.
47-46 Ohio. Robertson draws the assignment. Cooper way outside. Robertson sticks with him. 12 to shoot.
Yeah, doesn't give up the dribble until he has to.
Baltic steps into it. Short. Keeley.
Yeah.
Foul called on the floor.
Yeah, that's Gilchrist with the grab. You could see the bodies change direction in midair after he was going for it. Keeley's pulled to his left.
6 team fouls now against South Florida. And Jawanza Poland will check back in, replacing Robertson. First personal on Augustus Gilchrist. New shot clock for Ohio. Cooper swings it. Kellogg a three. Buries it.
Boy, that was a breakdown again defensively. They made a switch out front with the guards. Collins, I believe, was supposed to be guarding him. Fell asleep on the wing. You cannot do that with Kellogg, who could just flat out stroke it. A 42% three-point shooter on the season. Boy, you got to find him quicker than that.
Get exclusive in-game video highlights, up-to-the-minute scores and stats of all NCAA March Madness games at ncaa.com.
Ohio is shooting 23% on their twos, but guess what? They are 9 of 18 from the three-point stripe. Family is just going nuts.
You think that's
No other way of saying it.
legitimate spurtability for Ohio
There you
right
go.
now? 50-46. The Bobcats lead, and a foul out front on Baltic.
One of my pet peeves right there. You've heard me say it. When the big guy steps out, run right into him with the ball. You'll get the call 90% of the time. A lot of times people avoid this. See where he's going? A lot of guards take the easy way out and avoid the big step out by the big right there, Baltic. Go right into him, you get to the free throw line.
Jawanza Poland, the junior from Wichita, Kansas. Junior college transfer, Hutchinson Community College. Missed the first 11 games with a back injury. And he misses on the front end of a 1-and-1. So an empty possession for South Florida. 50-46, Ohio in front.
Yep, and Ohio has to earn every possession down here at the offensive end, and they know it.
Spread the floor. Offutt. Little bump from Robertson. Back out for Cooper now with 14 to shoot. Cooper high screen. Cooper thought about it. 7 to shoot. Offutt makes his move. The Matador. Offutt driving to the hole. What a gorgeous fake out. Taking it to the rim. He's got 21.
You talk about jumping, anticipating, and making the wrong decision over the high screen. Boy, did he ever read that properly and take it to the glass.
It's an 8-0 run for Ohio. They lead it 52-46. Winner advances to St. Louis in a matchup with the #1 seed in the Midwest, North Carolina. And that ball came off the foot of Baltic, out of bounds.
Watch this, Ian. He jumps this way thinking I'm going over the screen. He's not there, and nobody is home. Late rotation or no rotation by the Bulls defensively.
Gilchrist will check back in. He replaces Anderson for South Florida.
Now the other question, too, now with Ohio with the lead, they don't have to right this minute, but can the Bulls play a little bit more up-tempo and get into it when they need to?
And a foul called. Kellogg can't believe it. And that is now the double bonus. Nick Kellogg has picked up his 4th foul. And it sends Sean Noriega, an 83% shooter, to the line.
Wow. For a shooter, yeah, look at him stretching.
He has not played a whole lot.
Right, exactly.
He just entered the game.
Exactly. He's tight.
And now Kellogg is forced to sit because of the foul trouble.
His body, arms are tight. Guess what? The situation is tight also. Let's see if he reacts a little better with a softer shot.
He doesn't. They've missed 4 in a row from the line, but an offensive rebound for Gilchrist.
Big break for the Bulls.
This South Florida team 22-13. They were 10-23 1 year ago. Here's Rudd. He's trying to get back involved.
Watch Noriega. He'll pull the trigger.
Pump fake. Slapped out of his hands, and last touch by Offutt. 15 to shoot. South Florida retains. 4:06 on the game clock. And John Gross will send John Smith into the game, replacing Reggie Keeley.
You know, we've spoken about the Bulls and how they like to play defense and how good they are, but keep in mind, as you touched on way in the beginning of this game, with some of the numbers in terms of their turnover margin, Ohio, they flat out D up also.
Timer is down to 10. Collins one-on-one with Cooper. Swing it. Noriega steps into the 3. Back of the iron. Rebound. It's Smith.
Wow, that was a great snatch, too, by Smith just then. I thought that was over his head, but he moved the feet first and then got into his leap and extended for the rebound.
South Florida has gone cold. Ohio has taken advantage with an 8-0 run. Chance to extend the lead here with Cooper. We're down to 3:35 remaining in Nashville. Cooper on a crossover. Cooper, spin on Collins. Cooper doesn't get the roll, but a foul called. And it's going to be Collins picking up the personal foul. That's number 4 on the South Florida point guard. So trouble mounting here for the Bulls from the Big East. Ohio with a chance to add to its lead at the line when we come back. And Greg, what a story that would be for Robbie Hummel amidst all the injuries to get Purdue into the Sweet 16. Free throw goes down for DJ Cooper. 13 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. And the Cooper family cheering along at the 3:28 mark of this second half. It's now a 10-0 run, largest lead of the night for Ohio.
And we are getting dangerously close for the Bulls, where they'll have to start up-tempoing their half-court offensive sets.
Third game in 5 nights. This is a drought of 4.5 minutes now without a point.
Yeah, they went on the drought the first half against Temple, but there's no time for droughts right now. This is serious business. Sense of urgency setting in.
Outside, Rudd. And he draws the foul. So Victor Rudd will head to the free throw line.
Plus he stops the clock. 74% free throw shooter.
And Stan Heath now mixing and matching with Robertson and Anderson getting ready to check back in. Hall called on his second foul. South Florida in the double bonus. 2 shots for Victor Rudd.
You have to make sure if you're South Florida here, Ian, if you're going to switch up your defenses and maybe come up with a little full court action, that you do not let the ball get behind the first wave, because with Ohio's ability to put it on the floor with multiple players, they will go for a 3-on-2 attack if they get one.
12 points now for Rudd. And he hits on a pair.
See, here they come. They're going to come up right now, but you better be very careful that they don't go by the first wave and get it to a ball handler.
Nick Kellogg back in. He replaces TJ Hall. Kellogg playing with 4 fouls. They handle the pressure with Offutt. Right down the middle on a kickout.
Good decision right there. They had a little peak of a transition game going, but a better decision to pull that out by Kellogg.
Here's Cooper being watched by Robertson. Under 3 minutes to play. 6-point lead for Ohio.
Robertson, their best perimeter defender. That's why he's got the size here, 6'6" or so.
Here's Cooper, a switch. Anderson crowds him. Corner, Baltic pops. Yes! Long 2-pointer. And the first bucket of the night for Evo Baltic.
Was 5 of 10 against Michigan, and 2 of those shots went down against Michigan. He could shoot it from there. Nice isolation by Ohio.
Spread the floor. 56-48. Collins goes down low. Collins redirects. Oh, what a play! And the foul! Anthony Collins on the circle move. And a chance at a 3-point play.
From time to time, Collins goes into a disappearing act. Where is he? You can't find him. Then all of a sudden, he somehow finds a way to squeeze off a shot in traffic. That is extraordinary. On the other hand, if he tries that over the top, a regular shot, there's no way that's getting anywhere near the basket. Smart enough, though, to go underneath. It's much quicker and obviously a little bit more effective.
He is 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He can cut this Ohio lead to 5. 56-51, just over 2 minutes to play.
There's a double, slight double, now a good double.
Cooper gets it ahead. Well handled by Ohio. Back out for Cooper. 2 minutes left now. Second half. Ohio trying to become the first 13 seed into the Sweet 16 since 2006. And Bradley. Shot clock is down to 14. Offutt, he's been huge tonight. Baltic.
Yeah, Cooper's got to make something happen now with 5 left.
Here's Cooper, high screen, shot clock at 3. Cooper the spin, Cooper the drive, floats it up. Oh, he's got it!
Oh, the point guards are taking over. Collins at one end, Cooper at the other. A fabulous move away from the double team.
DJ Cooper! Creativity! Timeout in Nashville.
The guards are taking over in Cooper. Watch the way right here. He spins a little bit and he sees two guys, decides to go away from them, which is the best move he could have made. A terrific decision. He's a lefty, so he goes to his strong side to get that shot off. And another great reaction in the fans.
Cooper's parents in attendance here. And now South Florida is in a hole. 7-point differential with 1:27 left.
Watch Rudd stepping in.
Rudd needs help.
There he is. He wants it right back. Give it to him.
Collins, high screen, Fitzpatrick. Noriega on a dump down. Stepping through, Gilchrist gets it to go. It's a 5-point game. Just over a minute to play.
Now let's see how good Cooper is at picking people apart. He's got to call timeout there. He should have picked up the dribble.
We step aside with Ohio leading at 58-53. Key play here, second half Rudd called on the jersey tug. Offutt got 2 free throws and then hits a 3 as Ohio maintained possession. A 5-point possession which helps swing the game. 32-22 since that Rudd flagrant foul. .106 to play.
And I don't think you have any choice with South Florida. You get close to that time where you just make a quick. That's
a foul called on Fitzpatrick.
You know what, I was going to say, you got to start looking at the guys who can shoot free throws as well. And they're a pretty good free throw shooter. But Keeley is at about 68% or so.
So Reggie Keeley from University Heights, Ohio.
So it's not a bad maneuver right here because see that 105 that's left? You have to play the clock as long as possible. I thought Georgetown did a nice job of that this afternoon in their game.
Gave themselves a chance.
Yeah, and the key is multiple chances. As long as you have the clock on your side in terms of time, then you can go to this foul. Now, obviously, how do you deflate that? You make a couple of free throws.
It's a 1-and-1 for Reggie Keeley, the junior. Gets the roll. Ohio up by 6.
Boy, there was absolutely no expression on his face just then when that ball went through. And you don't want to overreact.
Ricardo Johnson in for defensive purposes. And also to protect Kellogg with 4 fouls. Second attempt, short. 59-53 Ohio.
Yeah, see if they can go to the basket quickly and see if they can get something.
Here's Collins. Out on the perimeter.
Yeah, just don't settle for a heave.
Collins gives it up. Fitzpatrick steps back. A 3. Oh, he nails it! Fitzpatrick from long range.
Well, he's a 41% free throw shooter, and take a look here. Watch what he sees in front of him. He sees Cooper, a small guy. He knows he can get his shot off. Great patience right there by the bigger feller.
Game reset. Ohio has the possession arrow. They have a 3-point lead, and they have the ball. Let's talk strategy now. Jimmy, give me some of your thoughts on both sides.
I think this is very difficult if you're South Florida, Ian, and Stan Heath, because you're kind of inching your way into no man's land to play the whole possession out, right? 35 seconds down. That leaves 14 on the clock. If they score, you're in trouble then now. You got 2 possessions. You don't have that much time. I would be blitzing my defense right here and would not be afraid to foul in a 10-second period of time right here.
They don't foul initially. Offutt gets it ahead. Cooper drives and now backs it out.
Now, the longer you wait, the longer you can't foul.
14-second difference, and now they foul Cooper with 36.2. So they made the decision, and then once Ohio was able to break that trap, they had to make a second decision, which was foul, but they did waste some valuable seconds in the process.
Yeah, once again, that's a difficult time right there. Now the issue becomes it's obviously clear fouling from this point on, especially depending on what happens with these free throws, with Cooper at the line at about 74% from the line.
Dion and Donnell Cooper, DJ's parents. Their son has 16 points, 7 assists, and he sticks a big free throw. Four-point lead for Ohio. Cooper now with 17. 74% shooter.
Still have time, if you're the Bulls, to take it down the floor and attack to the rim, Ian. Especially with a guy who's as quick as Collins. Go get it, bring it down the floor.
So calm, DJ Cooper. 61-56 Ohio. We're down to 30 seconds left. Collins for Rudd.
Here's a shooter.
Gives it up, 25 seconds left. Collins, he'll take the three. No good, knocked around. Cooper's got it for Ohio.
Got to foul him.
Noriega went for the steal, and now the foul is given with 15.1 left on the clock.
You take a look at Collins, gets it right on the front rim, but he's just a touch off. Good work, and then look at all that time they take off by allowing Cooper to come down the floor.
South Florida has given up more than 60 points. It had been 12 straight games where they held the opponent under 60. And Cooper misses on the first. Second attempt coming for DJ Cooper.
Shot that one all arms. Got to bend a little bit, especially late in the game.
And a timeout taken with 15.1 left to play. Ohio on the verge of the Sweet 16. Let's take you back. 2006, Bradley, the last 13 seed to advance to the Sweet 16. The Braves defeated Pittsburgh, 28 points from Patrick O'Brien. The fourth time in tournament history that a 13 seed advanced to the Sweet 16. 1988, Richmond did it, Valpo in 98, and Oklahoma in 99. 62-56. Ohio in front, they back off. Collins scoops it up, 13 seconds left. Noriega gets a shot off, can't hit the three. 8 seconds to play, and that's it. They are dancing in Athens, Ohio. The 13th seed, Ohio Bobcats, are going to the Sweet 16. 62-56. They knock off South Florida. The deepest Ohio has gone since 1964, when they lost to Michigan in the regional finals. from the Mid-American Conference, the Ohio Bobcats. You can now put them in St. Louis, where they will meet the #1 seed in the Midwest region, the North Carolina Tar Heels.
It's a different style of play in terms of the lower scoring, and they knew they were going to have their hands full against South Florida Bulls, and they did for a period of time. But I thought down the stretch they handled themselves with poise, smart play. Cooper really directed the traffic. I just thought it was a terrific team effort in the last 4 minutes of this ball game for Ohio.
Ohio 29-7, one of the biggest wins in school history. 62-56 as we check in with Lewis Johnson.
Well, John, when you took over this program in July of 2008, you talked about wanting to crank up the temperature. What's the temperature now when you're heading to the Sweet 16?
Well, it's at a pretty high level. I give a lot of credit to our kids. They were really tough. We had a hard time making shots in the first half because of how good their defense is. That's a good South Florida basketball team, and Stan's done a heck of a job. I'm just so proud of our kids for staying the course.
At the half, you were down 6, and you talked about having to really come out in those first 4 or 5 minutes and get some offense generated. You shot the lights out of 3. What about that transition that you guys made?
Well, I thought Offutt's shots were big early. It kind of got us going and gave the other guys, I think, a lot of confidence. And then I thought Cooper really stepped up and made some big plays. It's what great players do, and he's a great player. Other guys came in and contributed. This was a team win today, a team win.
All right, now, can you imagine that next week you'll be in the Sweet 16 playing against North Carolina?
Yeah, it's hard to believe, and obviously tomorrow when we wake up, we'll think about that, but I'm going to let these guys enjoy this one. This is a heck of a job by our guys. I'm really happy for Ohio University. I'm happy for our community back in Athens. We got some great people back there, so it's a great win for all of us.
All right, John, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ian.
All right, John Gross, this Ohio University program has